and I want to get to $100,000 or more in my business as advertised.
You will. Okay. Gail.
Okay.
I'm Gail, and I'm originally from the Northeast United States, but I've been living in Ecuador for 2 years. I am a women's life transformation coach, and I've actually had, I just closed a business that I had brought to 100,000, and I am looking to do that again.
Got this. Easy peasy. All right. Yeah. Once you know how to do it, it's pretty replicable. And the other part of it is once you get to 100,000, you can get to 1 million pretty easily, because that's the replicable stuff that I'm going to teach you. So, take heart. And like I said in the challenge, if I would have told you guys, come on and get to 1 million, nobody would have believed me. So, well, maybe you will later. All right, Manny.
Good evening. My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from Africa, Nigeria, and I'm a footballer. I'm into sport and all that. But I'm open to everything. I'm open to learning new stuff. I'm open to making it 100K, and I have this. I have this, should I say, plan on getting to a clothing line to make designs myself and just, get stuff from over the United States, or some good materials and just make my own designs with it, make something new, something different with the materials and all this stuff.
Good.
So I'm looking to learn new stuff.
Good. All right. Glad you're here, Manny. And I know you're trying to figure out like all the technology and stuff from Nigeria when it doesn't work so well. So if you ever can't make it, we do record, and we'll be glad to send you on email, and for anybody too as well, the recordings. So Tatiana.
I'm a coach for entrepreneurs, and I'm looking forward this year to 150K.
Cool.
What am I looking from this course particularly is more clarity, structure, even though I know kind of all of it, but maybe I just need a tweak here and there. And also raise even more my vibration and stay there, and help everybody else here on the room, raise vibration and stay in that state. And also kind of, lately I've been feeling that it's good to have a sense of being belong to like-minded people. And it seems like I outgrew big, so I need a more. So that part. Plus, just kind of in different way meetings, kind of. So I guess that's make money.
Yeah, there you go. Make money. Sounds good. Yeah. Thanks. You're going to do it. All right. So we had Peter join and Ron join. Ron, you want to, I don't know if you heard me. I just said very quickly, introduce yourself. I'm going to jump right in. Oh, I see Becky's on here too. We have a fairly big group here for the fast track. And then this group is going to be bigger and bigger. So I'm trying to sort of manage the structure. It may not be that everybody gets to speak every single week. And if you want to send in your questions to me, or put them in the chat during coaching times, I'll just answer, and we'll do the best we can, because this is a fairly big group and it's growing. So we're very honored to be part of that, and that's fun, but just want to take care of everybody's needs and and just kind of set it up from the beginning, right? All right, Ron. So I interrupted myself. So if you weren't here when you're signing on, I just said, if you could just very briefly introduce yourself and then say, sort of what you do, what your business is, and then what you want to get out of this course in just a couple of sentences. You don't have to give us your resume.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. It sounded like I was hearing myself and you couldn't. Anyhow, I'm Ron Stevenson, and I want to get lots out of this course, be around like-minded people, build my business to $1 million because I'm going for it.
Good.
And I have lots of different businesses and ideas, but my main focus right now is definitely coaching people to organize their minds and their homes and spaces so that they can go from there.
Love it. Yes. And did you listen to my my thing this week with Jack Canfield's book, the summary that I gave? Oh yeah, you did, because you commented on a couple of things. Yeah, I need to show you the pile of clothes I have upstairs that I cleaned out last night.
I'm listening to so much, it's like it's blurring together. So I was like, wait a second, I'm not sure.
I know. Well, and that's part of personal branding, is that you choose your media and then you get there, you be present, because the truth of the matter is, Ron may listen to a lot of what I'm saying, but about 6 to 11% of all of your followers listen to anything you put out. So you don't need to worry about putting out too much, because people just aren't seeing it, aren't listening to it, aren't following it. So, it'll feel like, to people like Ron that listen to what I say and those kind of things, is a big honor. It'll feel like a lot to him, but to most people that are following you as you're building your brand, they're just seeing little blips. And so you're not going to hear that as much as you would, you think you might. I feel like I'm there all the time, all day long, right? But
well, you have to break through the noise, because if you're competing. So yeah, I love it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Well, I'm having a great time, so I love it too. So thank you. And I'm glad there's some value for you. Thank you. Thank you for your words. Okay, Peter, you want to introduce yourself and say your business, your current business. If we're going to change it, we will. And I'm not that I'm saying you have to change your business, but and then also just one or two things you want to get from being together here from this course.
All right, I'm Peter Scott. I am doing transition coaching. So people who have gone through a life change, either divorce, loss, job, something like that they really need the support and the coaching to get through. And for the course, I really just need to get around like-minded people and start making progress for my business.
Yep. Cool. Nice. And Becky, thanks for being here, Peter.
All right. Yes, I'm unmuted now. Hi, everybody. It's Becky Bradham from North Carolina. And I am in the process of redefining exactly what I am. And the branding is very important, because the thrust of most of what I'm doing right now will be working with women of a certain age who want to let age not define them, let that age set them free, give them choices they've never had before, and the best avenues of being healthy. And to that end, I guess most of you know that I'm working with Mary now. I'm also a almost 22-year veteran of weight loss surgery. I used to weigh over 300 pounds, and I've maintained 150 plus pound weight loss for a long time now, and actually had looked into doing the same thing that Mary's doing years and years ago. So this was a true divine intervention for me to have this business. But I also represent Arbonne, because the 30 Days to Fit program they have, which is a very targeted weight management program, has gotten me the lowest weight-wise and the best health-wise I've ever been in my life. But there are a couple of other pieces that are out there that I'm trying to identify. So I'm wanting to wrap all this together, be around like-minded people to lift me up and to be a member of that 100K club just as soon as possible. Yay, Paula.
Well, the 100K club, you're a member when you say you are.
Yep.
And I really encourage you all to really believe that and take that on, put that on as a hat. And you all may be receiving a hat that says member of the 100K club. I mean, you know, the more that you take that on is your persona, the more likely you're going to get there. And, you know, the belief system and all of, and I'm going to be teaching sort of what some methodologies are. So I have a couple of questions, and I'm not going to, well, first of all, this is being recorded and it will probably be replayed for you who are participating right now. You will always have the replays, but also later on, this is a beta program. The Fast Track program that you're in right now may or may not be replayed. There may be audio of it or something. But if you're uncomfortable having your face being seen, or you're uncomfortable, you know, with any of that, let me know. But please turn off your camera and your mic if you're uncomfortable, because we don't want you to be involved in the the filming of something you don't want to be part of. So also, if you'll use your chat to answer these questions. Do you all want a group for this? You know, there's several, I've received feedback that, you know, I have different groups and some of you are in some of the groups, like the 10K, you know, are the, you know, 10K in 5 days group, and then the big money mindset groups. And some of you have related to me that it gets a little confusing. And so I'm glad to do all of this on my, you know, my branded site. But it does make going live and those kind of things, if you ever need to, a little bit more difficult, as we experienced this week in the challenge. So I'm glad to start a group. And I will tell you that unless something changes significantly for me, this is going to be my signature program. So more and more people will come into the group. And so, you know, you guys will all be in that forever and ever. And some of those other groups will probably be archived. So just would like to hear your feedback. We don't have to discuss it. Just put your chat in. I see Gail saying she'd like to have a group. Yeah. Janine saying, I agree with Gail. I want a group, but I don't want to create more of a problem. So this is for you and not me. The groups make sense to me, and it'll grow. It'll be larger and larger and larger. But okay, so so it sounds like, you know, we're getting there to the group.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question regarding what you just said.
Yes, just very briefly, because I'm trying to get to the teaching tonight. Okay, so real quick.
Right. So, and I forgot because you asked me to.
Okay, well, just chat. Just put it in the chat when you remember it. Okay.
Okay.
That'll be great, and I'll answer it. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Yep, we got group. All right. So it looks like we're going to do group. Also, one more thing to chat about, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with tonight. I would love to know if you guys would be open to, instead of meeting at 7 o'clock, meet at 6 o'clock. So if that would be something you'd be open to do, let me know. If not, 7 o'clock will remain. All right. So tonight is, we're doing the fast track, and we've got 2 sessions for this, and we're going to try to keep them to an hour each. And I certainly will coach. I want to leave a little bit of time tonight to coach, and you all forgive the slides. Pam is sick today. So, you know, send her some love and some good energy, and and all of that. But so you've got my slide design tonight, so bear with me and love me through it. I don't have my team members who it's their specialty helping me out. It's just all me. Looks like we're on for 6 o'clock, so this time will change, and as we move forward, we'll change to 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know some of you are on different time zones. So, okay. So this is the Fast Track program. And I thought about that I didn't want you guys to be sitting around while I'm, promoting this and putting it out to different places and all of that stuff for a couple of weeks. I want you guys to be started. I want you to be going. I want you to be, getting there and feeling really good about your business and where it's going. And so yeah, everybody's, oh, Janine says she'll help me when Pam can't. Dang, I wish I knew that. I'll remember that, Janine. Anyway, so I want you guys, there's two things I want you to get started with very fast that I know will move your business along quickly. The rest of it will, try to change and worry about and all of that. My question will be, are you going to do any lives on public? I may do some lives publicly, but I won't, you guys can join in if you want, but I probably won't. On Thursdays, there will probably be, I'll tell you about that later. Thursday is sort of an additional thing. And so Thursdays for anybody who's in the 100K club, and there's some people that are in it for free. And I'll be coaching on Thursdays, but it won't be this group. So you can show or not show. Okay.
Well, all I meant is the trainings that you're going to be doing here, you're not going to be doing them on public anywhere, right?
No.
Not anywhere. You're going to be selling that later. So
Right.
I just want to make sure I know what kind of questions I'm asking and phrasing them. So it's not going to go on the public anytime soon.
Yeah, it won't.
Okay.
It won't be out in the public. It'll be to somebody that purchases this. Okay. All right. All right. So I wanted to give you what I thought about as we are moving forward here is that I wanted to give you guys some just real big down and deep, just nuggets that I teach to my one-on-one clients when they say, what do I do now? Okay, I want to start this business and I need it to grow fast and I need money to come in and I need to feel like it's moving along. And what are the things you tell me, Paula, as a coach to do, like, this week that'll get me going? And so these are the things in this Fast Track program that I'm going to teach. So, and of course, this is part of the Mind Your Own Business program. You guys know that. So I just want to kind of lay out the rules because we are a big group and this is this gathering is fairly big. I don't want to get into, while we're talking, arguing, like, if you want to look at a point of view that I'm providing as a coach from another point of view, or you don't agree with it, or, you want to look at it from 15 different ways, this is not the place to do that. Our place is too big. There's too many of us. And I just want to move us along and give you what you need. All right. And I want to coach. I don't want to argue. So we're playing a game, kind of. We're going to build your business as a game and we're going to have fun with it, but there's got to be some rules to the game. So these are the rules. No arguing with the ref, and I'm the ref. Also, you guys are truly developing muscles, right? And like when you're exercising and learning to do something new, the more you practice, the better you get, right? And so the other part of that is you're not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy. It's going to be like, it's not going to be, from the day you do it, you're going to have, $10,000 tomorrow, right? In a month's time. So there's going to be things you got to do. And it's going to be a little bit of mess and a little in your brain, because it's learning new things, is going to have maybe a little bit of resistance and maybe a little bit, just like today I started jogging again, and actually, thank you, Peter, you inspired me. And so I went out I've been jogging 2 days this week. I jogged Sunday and today, and my body was like, I don't freaking want to do this. Take me home and sit down, girl, because my brain got used to being lazy, right? To my body not moving. And so I know that it's best for me to be moving, and I know that my brain has to accommodate to it. And there's a little resistance there, literally, right? So you're going to experience sometimes a little bit of resistance when you try these new things. It's just part of what happens when your brain is rewiring or resetting or finding wiring that it's set before. So it doesn't mean you have a block. It doesn't mean you need to do super healing, unless it gets to a certain level and you're just doing nothing, and then we'll talk about it. But there's going to be a little bit of resistance. And actually, maybe that is a little bit of healing, because it is your process for becoming the whole you that you want to be. And that, requires that your cells and everything move towards something maybe different. I want everybody, this is a game again, to be a team player. There's, there doesn't need to be any stars. And all of you said that you want to be in a group of like-minded people that are supportive. And so all along the way, I want this group to really help each other, to lend a hand out to each other, to promote each other, to talk about each other, to help, process each other, and not to be competing and thinking, oh, this one's doing that, and, all of that. So we're all going to be playing as a team and not in competition with each other. We're all going to rise. And then, of course, you've got to try new things and new ideas. And then the big thing is, I want you to have fun, because this is your business and this is your life, and it's not worth it if you don't enjoy it. This isn't about a do or die method that you have to do it. You need to figure out your way and what works for you, so that when you move forward, even tonight, I want you to start doing things the minute that you learn them. If it speaks to you, go try it out. Go let it be messy. Go, somehow play with it. And it's sort of like, I'm going to hand you a yo-yo, and I remember the first time I got a yo-yo in my hand, and I watched this other person in the store, do all these tricks, like walk the dog and all this stuff back in the day when that was like a really big thing. And I thought, oh my God, I want that so badly. And so I bought the yo-yo, and I immediately wanted to start playing with it, right? So it was interesting to me. So anything you learn that's interesting, that speaks to you, try it. Just go try it and play with it. You cannot get it wrong. Even if you got online to do a video, which this has happened to me, turned on the machine and started a live, and you totally messed it up. Like you couldn't even remember what you were going to talk about, or you started blabbering away to something else. It's still going to be okay. You can't get this wrong. And you can always later be very authentic and say, I just screwed that up and I'm starting over, or whatever you want to do with it. And the good thing about where a lot of us are right now is we don't have these like 1 million person audience, right? We have a smaller audience right now. And the idea is it's going to grow fast, because you have a lot to share and people want what you got and you're going to have fun with it. But so even if you did totally like in public do something that, you were quote unquote embarrassed about or cared about what somebody thought about it, you probably don't have 1 million people looking at you. So you can take that on. So those are the rules of the game. So the first fast track point that I want to get out tonight, and it's almost 30 minutes in, is you got to absolutely do it your way. And the first thing that I want you to start doing your way is making your personal brand your way. Right? Please, 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 please put in comments, thoughts, chat box, whatever. And so I want you to get this. So many of us have learned, find out what your audience wants and basically perform to your audience, right? We've heard that. And it is important to understand your audience and understand who you're, wanting to connect with. More than likely, almost always, the people that we want to connect with are mirrors of us. Gail and I have had that conversation ourselves when you kind of, whenever I ask people to delineate who their 5-star client is, or if you want to call it your avatar or whatever it is, almost always people spend time, they think about it, they go deep, and it becomes almost a description of themselves. Can anybody identify with that? So, more than likely you understand the people that you want to represent, and certainly you want to be a little bit more connected and dive deep and think about pain points and stuff like that, but you are a reflection of who you want to serve, right? I mean, more than likely you are. So just for a little while, take off that always chasing, always trying to please the person, and be yourself. I want you to relax into it and realize that you are your brand. Your name, Paula Boland, I am my brand. So how I present myself, people are getting an idea of who I am. They have a perspective and a perception of who I am. Now, that might not be the full truth, but people have a perspective and a perception of who I am. Your brand, your personal brand, is not your business name. Okay? It is you. And the reason that we want to really focus on it being about you is because you are you everywhere you go all the time. And if in 1 year you decide not to be a coach anymore, for those of you who are coaching, or you decide that you want to, open a new business, or you want to do a different kind of coaching. My coaching practice is changing right before my eyes. And I'm actually considering coaching only to personal branding. I love it so much. But if you are branding yourself and your business second, then you have something forever and ever that you have put together and monetized, and you can move forward. Does that make sense? I just want to take a second if anybody's got a question to ask about that. I just want to be really clear, because I'm going to have you from now on think about yourself as your brand. It doesn't mean you don't mention your business. You hear me all the time. I'm Paula Boland and I'm with Paula B Coaching. You hear it all the time, but the first and foremost that you're presenting from now on is you. All right?
Okay, what if I change my name?
If you change your name, well, then you'll have to brand the new name. Yeah. So like Oprah, Oprah's like a really great, high name people are really great examples. She's Oprah, one word, right? If she was to change her name to, I don't know, Sally Sue, she would need to go, do that. But her brand is so significant that it wouldn't take her long to do that. She could stand up and say, I'm Oprah, the Oprah, and I have decided that it's for this best reason that I become Sally Sue, and this is why I'm going to be Sally Sue, and I want you to start calling me Sally Sue, and everyone would start calling her Sally Sue, right? But there are elements of who Oprah is as a brand would go with her, right? So she represents, African-American women who came from poverty and overcame a lot and now are successful, in fact, billionaires. She still would represent that. Her brand would carry with her. And that's the same thing that'll happen with your business. So, Paula B Coaching, my brand, I'm my brand, Paula Boland. And if I decide Paula Boland decides to open up a winery in, Maui, then I'm going to be still my brand, Paula Boland, is opening up this winery. So it's going to carry with you.
Okay. Well, I'm clear on that. And I guess another question is, so it sounds like we're going to be doing 2 brands in jobs isn't too much, like, doing for marketing and branding for business and marketing for personal name.
Just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay, good. Right.
Just relax. Stay
Sounds
tuned.
good.
I'll make
Sounds
it's going to be fun. Just have fun. All right. So I just want to get this clear though, because we've all learned, most of us have learned through, I had a marketing company that I was paying last year, and it was the lowest amount that I could negotiate with them. They wanted $1,500 a month, and I was paying them $750 a month to brand my company, to brand Paula B Coaching. And it just was not fun. There was always stuff, it was just, it was that whole blah that a lot of us have learned, right? To just take this on and, only talk to these things and this reason and then. And it never really went anywhere. And I think a lot of it was because of my energetic resistance. And also because I just was like, this doesn't feel right to me. And then I realized that, I was presented, thank goodness, an opportunity to learn about the idea of personal branding and how every single person who makes a significant amount of money, every single person, Christian Michelson, Eben Pagan, that's their brand, is their name, not what they do, right? They have branded Eben Pagan, Christian Michelson, and you know that they're a coach, or that they're a basketball player, or that they're a newscaster, but ultimately what is the name. And so that name, that brand goes with you no matter what you are doing for money. Does that make sense? You guys could type in yes if it makes sense. So we want to develop your brand, you, to make money just by being you. It all starts with the celebration of you. All right. Not the celebration of your business. I'm glad it's crystal clear. Good. Thank you, Manny. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad it makes sense. So this is a different approach, and it should be sort of freedom for you. I'll tell you, for me, so should we use our personal name instead? Yes. So Janine, right now you use Janine M, I think. And if I would tell you to use your name, and unless your name is so common that, Mike Brown or something like that, that there wouldn't be like where people would recognize, like my name is Paula Boland. It's unique enough where there's not going to probably be another person that they go, oh, is it that Paula Boland or that one? So unless your name is so common, you may want to put like, another thing on it, but it's generally recommended, I'm recommending, and it's generally recommended that you use your name. Now you can say I'm Janine, whatever, and I'm with this organization, or I'm the CEO of this organization, but it's you. And that's one thing I love about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn starts with you. It starts with Paula Boland, and then you can do your page and all that kind of stuff, but it is promoting you. All right. And so I want you to learn that you can make money by being you. And the more you're you, the better it's going to be. All right. So here's an example. For years, I felt like I could only give this kind of content on Paula B Coaching site. I could only, I needed to talk about marketing your business, or, how to develop your business, or your pain point about your business, or that you need to do some money work or something like that. And I'm very much into the law of attraction, and I'm very much into healing and all those kind of things. And when I was putting that out on my Paula B Coaching site, it was getting people like, what is she? Who is she? And I heard that from the marketing team a lot. And so what I was feeling like is, well, but that's really me. And that's, you know, how do I present that? And when do I present it? Maybe later after somebody's been involved with me, then, you know, they're in this group, then I can talk about it. And that's sort of what I did. But it just wasn't like, it was always like sort of confused of what I was supposed to be presenting. And when I got this concept and I started my Paula Boland page, it was super freedom for me. Because I have a page for Paula B Coaching, and it's cool that I talk about, you know, what I'm doing with coaching, this program. I talk about personal branding. I can talk about any of that stuff. But on my personal page, I get to talk about what I want to talk about. I have pictures of my dog on there. I have, you know, I talk about, you know, my son and my move. Now, you don't want to turn this into only being about your your private life. You don't want to only talk about your cats, right? But you want to have a balance, because people want to know you, who you are, and it's freedom because you get to know who you are. Does that make sense? So you could have, now I'm going to just mention Peter for a minute. Peter has a page that says Peter Scott, and then it has his coaching, like he's a transformational coach on there, right? Perfectly appropriate, right? He's talking about that this is who he is, and then he is coach, you know, on there. So, and my personal page says that too, that I'm a coach. So you can, you know, post about your coaching, you can post about, and it's even better if you're talking about your own process. Like, I am not an expert. I have not, but this is what I've learned so far. This is what I know. People want that right now. They want you. Does that make sense? You don't have to hide behind it anymore. So, so this is important to manage though. All right. So if you're walking around without your top on and you've got your, you know, your video feed and you're putting that live, there's going to be a perception about you, right? So how do you want to be perceived? I mean, if you're in the, you know, if you're in the fitness industry, you might, if you're a man, you might want to walk around without your top on. I guess if you're a woman too, you might not want to put much of a top on, but you know, to show that you have muscles, right? Because people perceive that you know what you're talking about in that way if they see your muscles, maybe, right? So it's you want to think about, how do you want to be perceived? So that is important. And so you can, you know, like for instance, Tatiana is a fun loving person. Tatiana dances. Tatiana, you know, wants to be about that. So that's part of her personal brand. She can dance on her, you know, and she has her dance parties and she laughs about it. It can be her freedom, while she's also talking about, like, you know, how do you be more creative and things like that. So like I said, you want to balance your personal life and your expertise. You don't want to make it just about your expertise, because it's boring. You know, people don't want to always, you know, and I made that mistake for a long time. I was, you know, really on my business page, and I was like, well, all I can do is talk about business. And this has given me a freedom to, you know, to not do that only. So you want to balance that. Balance your personal and expertise. And you do you. You be you. Whoever you are, be you. You know, you guys that know me, you know that I have a gift for being imperfect. Like most people do, but I sort of highlight that I'm imperfect, and it gives other people the permission to move forward and be inspired in imperfection, right? So that's sort of part of my brand, is that you can be, you know, I posted something that Tatiana reposted the other day, that you can be a work in process and a masterpiece at the same time. And that's sort of who I represent, right? That's me. And so I'm a masterpiece because I'm such a work in progress, and I own it. I'm not perfect. I don't want to hide behind perfectionism, but I will move and take action and be messy. And that inspires some people. Other people that don't like that want to see the perfection, that want to see the suit and the tie and the briefcase, they're not going to tune into me, but that's not me, right? So you do you. You do you. But here's the thing, you got to do it often. You do you, but do it often. So you gotta, and I'm going to talk about this for a minute. What often means this is your business. This is yours. This is your personal brand. This has to be yours. So what does often mean? For me, it means every day. For you, it could be mean 3 times a week. For you, but it's, the thing is like Ron said just a minute ago, there's a lot of noise. And we know there's a lot of noise because we've been trying to figure it out for years, right? We've been trying to figure out how to rise above the noise, how to be known, how to whatever, how to make our business, show when there's other, 9 million other coaches and all that stuff. We know there's a lot of noise. So the way that you overcome the noise is you make your own noise, but you got to make it often so people notice. Okay. So whatever that means to you, I want to give you permission, absolute permission, and you take it from this night forward that you can do this your way. And there, you cannot make a mistake. It will be okay and successful. And I want you to smile about that. I want you to feel freedom about that. You don't have to be bound by, you're not professional enough or you're not, whatever that story is. You be you. All right. So I want you just to think for just a minute, if you, what are 2 things that you, and I want you to chat about this, put it in the chat box, just 2 qualities that are you, that you're maybe feeling like, hey, I can celebrate this a little bit more. And I haven't felt maybe as much freedom as I might want to about me and my life and my personal brand. What are the pieces of you being you the quality that you may be maybe embracing a little bit more, if you'll put in the chat box?
Did you say embracing or want to embrace?
Embracing. I'm starting right now. You guys may or may not know this about me, but one of the qualities that I portray is you don't have to wait ever. You don't have to wait to get it better. You don't have to wait to get it perfect. You don't have to wait to heal it. You don't have to wait. Just, you can do it. Multi-passionate. Gail, I love that because that is something that gets just thrown way under the covers when you're trying to build a business, right? They say, focus on this one thing, but you can absolutely, in your personal brand, disclose how multi-passionate you are. I mean, how beautiful is that? And what permission does that give for other people? We're all multi-passionate, hopefully, but most of us are, power and presence. Absolutely, Peter. Those are things that you will absolutely celebrate. Older in years, younger in spirit, and just really embracing life. Yeah. And I will tell you, straightforward, risk taker, brave, bold. Yeah. Yeah, that could be your motto, Becky. Becky, I also see, one of the things that people know me for is I make quips all the time. Like I'll make these little sayings, and, Tai Lopez does that too. And sometimes I get compared to Tai Lopez and I'm like, no. But I see you do a little bit of that too, where you take something and kind of turn it on its head and make it a little deeper or look at it from a different angle. And that is something that it's just, people are going to love that, right? So all of us have stuff that people are going to love about us, right? All of us do. Silliness, imperfection, you know, I'm not the youngest thing ever, but, you know, I don't even care, you know. What permission is that to be like, not, you know, our society that has such ageism, right? Such focus on, you know, the hair and not being white, and oh my God, now you look old. You know how many times that my mom told me that? She saw my hair and that's the first thing she said to me is, you look old now. And it's like, so what? I mean, what does that mean, right? I mean, and so celebrate it, right? I got white hair. I've had white hair since I was freaking 20. I mean, did I, you know, to make me look old there? I just hid behind it because it was a message. And I want to give, by me sporting this, I give permission to other people to not be lost in that, right? So everything, right? Look at Janine, her sense of humor, yeah, silliness, yeah. Yeah, I have definite silliness. I think probably that's why I've attracted most of you, is also that you like the silliness and you're into it too. Yeah. And it's, you know, sometimes I have to remind myself that I can be silly. I can be if you saw me at my house, like most of the time, I'm a goofball, you know, I'm also super clumsy. And of course you guys see that I knock over light kits and, you know, all that kind of stuff, but people tune in to see what I'm going to do next. I mean, it's part of my personal brand. It's not a downer. So, yeah, your husband used to call you weird. Weird is definitely good. As a matter of fact, I wanted to say that all of us have chosen to come on this earth because we're trying to help people with something. And all of us have particular gifts that are different than somebody else's, right? We all fit together in this sort of puzzle. And we need each other. We need our gifts. We need our talents. That's why we need these personal brands. And the thing is, often your things that you think are weird or quirks, like the quirkiest quirk part of yourself, is the piece that will heal other people. It's what makes you special, what makes you different, right? What makes you, you know, we could all have the same hardwood flooring, and if it didn't have the knots and the colorations and the whatever, it wouldn't be interesting. So your quirks and your stuff that your husband or you call weird, or maybe you've tried to hide or get rid of, are the very things that you want to bring out as part of your personal brand. It should be liberating. It should be exciting that you can talk about what you're really interested in. You can, you know, be who you really are. I mean, you know, when my hairstylist gives me P for peroxide, I will. All right. So that I hope is helpful, but do you, and just do you often, right? And so whether or not you even realize it, you do have a brand. People that know you know this about you, or like this about you, or, you know, people that, you know, like, think about me. If you know Gail and you know me, we both work for Paula B Coaching, right? Very different energy, very different style, very different brand. But we both work, you know, Gail's one of my coaches. She has her own coaching business, you know, as well. But, you know, but we're not the same. We're not both, you have to be this as a member of Paula B Coaching. We both have a different brand, right? So that you, whether or not you realize it or want to realize it, you have a brand already. So why not monetize it? There you go. Now it's time to create into it. All right. I've already said that it's all about you, mind your own business. And I want to go through what mind your own business means. Mind is the mindset. Yours is it's yours. Do it your way. And business is build it into money, doing it exactly your way, loving it. All right. So this brand piece is all about you, your quirks, and you being authentic. You saying, you know, what you're vulnerable about, you being authentic about showing up with gray hair when you have gray hair, you being authentic about, you know, maybe not having the best day or not knowing everything, and that you're learning it and you're just sharing what you're learning. And I'm still processing this, but I want you guys to hear it and process it with me. That authenticity is the icing, is the best. It is the sweetness in your brand. All right. So, gosh, so I just want to, so where do you do this? Where do you do this? Where do you do you? Where's this supposed to happen, right? Well, you gotta be you all the time, but I mean, like in the world of social media and in the world of how you're presenting yourself, and where do you do you? Well, here you go. You get to be you. So tonight, right now, I want you to type in, what is your favorite social media or just media method? Is it television? Is it, speaking? I love public speaking. And I realized that I had I'm working so hard to develop these programs and do all this stuff that I've left behind that piece. And I'm really working now this year to be more in my public speaking mode, because I love it. I love being with y'all and just, giving you my quips and you go, oh, that's a good one. So I want you to type in now, where's your favorite media? It doesn't need to even be social media. Some of us hate social media, but what's your favorite media and method? So are you a writer more than you are a public speaker? Are you a podcaster that likes to be interviewed more than you would like me, that'll stand up in a cornfield and talk to the corn? I mean, what is your favorite way to convey your message, right? So it could be anything. It could be blogging, it could be vlogging. The fascinating thing is most anything goes. So Tatiana says images and talking. Yeah. Gail says she loves speaking. And you know what? I want to celebrate you, Gail, because you have started talking more. You've just got to embraced it. And maybe it was our own conversations about personal branding and just being out there more. And it's lovely. I see it evolving, and I just feel you grabbing our spirit when you're speaking. Becky says public speaking all the way. It's her own private stage. Absolutely. I'm a theater major too. Manny likes to express himself more in writing. So Manny, I had this, sometimes I have these visions of what I think would help or be really cool for people. And Manny, I had originally thought that it would be fabulous if you started a YouTube channel and started talking about what's happening in, your country and the clothing and all that kind of stuff, because you have such deep, deep things to offer. But if that may not be for you, right? I mean, YouTube may not be it. So you might be a blogger. And a blogger is just somebody that writes their thoughts, right? And then, puts them on, you can put it on other people's blogging site. I'm always looking for blogs. If anybody wants to write stuff for me. Peter likes to write and being interviewed. It's growing on him. Maybe I'm the part of like the kudzu on him. I love interviewing Peter. And people love, Peter doesn't know this, and it's part of your brand, is you just sort of show up as this quiet presence. And then when you open your mouth, it's like, damn, so you really do have a real gift for that, whether you like it or not. So Becky says she wants to act, sing, and dance, I don't know if that's live. I don't know if that's putting up a camera and singing your, what you got to say. I mean, however, and Gail's dancing theater too. So am I. I mean, we could start our own troupe here. Yes to all. Writers amaze me too. I'm that too. So you guys that are writers, pair up with us. We love it. I need your blogs. I need your writings. I need your videos. I'll put your videos out there. and this is part of your brand, is you don't have to do it all alone under a bushel with, you know, the light of the candle under a bushel, as it says in the Bible. You let your light shine, right? And there's all of us that will highlight each other, and I want it. It makes less work for me. It makes it, you know, I'm not afraid to speak your wonderfulness because it helps my audience. You know, it's also less work for me. I get to go play somewhere else if you're writing something. So that's part of your personal brand too, is no longer do you have to do it all yourself. You can share other people's content. We can share each other's content, you know, and if I have my brand, I'm not going to take anything from you because people are going to know what Paula Boland does, and they're going to like also what Peter does. So it doesn't matter, right? We just, we work together. That's how we, collaborate, right? So, so Janine likes to talk, but not in a public setting. So I don't know if you like to talk on video or whatever, but you know, you be you, right? So you guys have kind of looked through like your favorite social media and your methods, right? So you can write, you can blog, you can make videos, you can write, you know, if you want to be on Facebook, you can be on Facebook. If you want to be on Instagram, Twitter, you can write, you know, whatever you want to do, but you do need to put your personality into it, and you do need to get out there a little bit. And I didn't mention, Ron said he likes podcasts and YouTube and all that stuff. But like I said already, go with your name. And Tatiana asked, what if you don't like your last name? It's up to you. You know, Oprah's just Oprah, right? And then what's the Prince? He became a letter eventually. That's how big his brand was. He could be the letter formerly known as Prince, right? So whatever you decide is going to be what you're calling yourself, then you do that, but you want to stick with it, right? And that's why I'm saying you may not want to say, you know, Coach Janine or Coach Tatiana, because you may not want to be a coach forever. Most multimillionaires have several streams of income, and you might not want to be known, you know, in the Bitcoin industry as Coach Paula, right? I mean, I don't know. So you're better just have your name, and then you can just use your name to support whatever you're doing. People recognize you and your name, not so much your business. All right. So when you start doing this stuff and doing it often and being you and being awesome often, you want to try to give like little bits of information. In the way we are right now, in our culture, in also our foggy brains for what's going on right now. And I talked about this today when I went live on my show, is people just do not have the capacity, and really never have had the capacity to sit with you and learn. I mean, here I am an hour right now. I'm an hour in right now. And hopefully you guys but you're going to probably remember about maybe 1/3 of what I said, right? Because there's a lot. And that's why we give you the videos and all of that. You just want to, if you can, as you move forward, it's easier for you and easier for the person that's trying to decide if they like you, which, by the way, the process, has anybody been on LinkedIn or Instagram? I know you have, and you get these, you know, people connect with you, right? They start following you, and then they send you a message like the same day or the next day. And they try to say something like, I really like your site. And this is this and this and this I'm offering. So let's set up a 15-minute call. You know, I know you've gotten those, right? And I don't know why. I hate them. I mean, I've gotten where I respond to them and offer to teach them how to develop real relationships, but I just hate that. And the reason that I don't like it is because it's not real, right? And yeah, you get it daily. I absolutely do too. One of the reasons I don't like using LinkedIn is that seems to be the format. And I just am like, I don't want to be part of that. But anyway, they're working outside of the process that we all use naturally to connect. And the process that we use naturally is people know you first, then they like you, then they trust you, then they buy from you. All right. So that's why we don't like it, because it doesn't fit in with how we really work in any relational world of a human being, is that those people are trying to move from knowing me to me spending without me, knowing them, liking them, trusting them, then giving them money. I mean, I don't know anybody that I could walk up to and say, "Hi, my name's Paula Boland." Now, some of you might, but somebody I just saw on the street, "Hi, I'm Paula Boland. How about giving me your credit card?" They wouldn't do that, right? We just wouldn't do that. We have to know them, then we have to like them, then from there we trust them, and then we might buy from them. So the reason that you're giving out crumbs is you, one, are giving information out that people can digest. And I'm not talking about crap. I'm talking about little pieces. Like think of what you offer and all you know as this big piece of bread. All right. So what you're doing when you give out your information on written or YouTube or whatever is you break off that little piece of bread and you give that out, that value. That little piece of bread is a crumb, and crumbs is maybe not the best word, but it's a piece, just a little piece that you're giving out little by little by little. All right. You're giving value based on what you know and what excites you and who you are and in the way you do it. Yeah, chips and squirrels. Exactly. So you give out little pieces. All right. And so what you want to be doing, and I want you to start this. I want you to go start your page. Peter has already. He gets yay. He gets gold star. He did it. And then Gail's kind of moved hers around a little bit. And I think Ron's got his page set up. But I want you to go get your personal page together, wherever you're going to do it. Whether you're going to do it like a blog, whether you're going to do it, as on Facebook, which, Facebook is actually a really good place to do it because there's billions and billions of users, right? You can live anywhere in the world and have a presence. But here's what I want you to follow is the 90-10 rule. And I did not understand this until recent. What I heard all the time was always give a call to action. Always give a call to action. Why aren't you giving a call to action? You didn't, and it didn't feel right to me. So what I want you to do is 90% of those little pieces of the bread that you're handing out, those little pieces of value, 90%. I have the Productivity Powerhouse page. I should rename it. You could leave it as a page, and I'm addressing Janine's question, but go ahead and start a page for you. All right. So if you want if the Productivity Powerhouse page is, what you want to be, that's your business, you could be Janine, and then below it, the Productivity Powerhouse page. But yes, that should not be the primary name. It needs to be your name. All right. So who's telling me to focus? Okay, you're violating the rules. So the 90-10, you don't fight with the ref. 90-10, the 90-10 rule is that you give 90% of what you're saying out to just value. You don't have to give a call to action. You're offering that as value. All right. 99, like say you make 10 posts a week, or say you make 10 posts in 2 weeks or a month. 9 of whatever you're offering is information and those little pieces of value. And then the 10th one can be where you say, call me up for a one-on-one session, or, my mindset, challenge or whatever. So you want to follow as much as you can. And there's times when you're rolling out a program that you'll mention it, you'll kind of go a little bit off of that. But generally, especially with your personal branding, You want to be known as a person that gives really great stuff, you know? And I'm going to teach you when we get into the program a little deeper, what are some like tricks you can use that gets that out to really big audiences really fast. And people start to see you all the time, the same people. And then all of a sudden they know you, you know, they know you and they like your stuff and they follow you and all of that. Okay, so the 90-10 rule, yeah, that could be a little confusing. So 90%, 10% is the 90-10 rule. So if you're making 10 posts, 9 of them should be just value, pieces of information, stuff that people can use. And then that 10th one, so that it's a 90%, 10%. So that 10th one is the one that you could make an offer, a call to action, or call me up, schedule an appointment with me, whatever you want to offer. Does that make sense? This is really important. What we're usually taught is every time we do something to say, this is, you know, call to action, call to action, call to action. And I you know, nope. Give value, and we've heard this, value, and value just for free, for the gift, for the piece of information. Yeah. So Tatiana says she's taught 80-20. You know, it's your business. I'm still going to stick with my 9 out of 10, err on the other side of giving too much information, giving it for free, being that person that just gives and loves and has so much to share that you're just in there. Because in research, people will remember the person that gives them lots of value. I mean, if you know, if even people that are like amazing with making offers, it's still the people that that make that, you know, that give the tons of value are the ones that people remember because they like them. They identify with what they're saying. They're getting something out of it. They remember. Paula said that. Yeah. I think the fact that we are all here evaluates the 90-10. I hope so. It hasn't always been how I've rolled. So, but I do. I mean, I have never been a person just innately. Maybe that's why I love this personal branding stuff. I've never been a person that just has felt comfortable making an offer. I want to give, I want to walk the walk with people and give as much value as I can. So that's just who I am. But so that 90-10 rule really, you know, for me, it's freedom. It's like, yes, I don't have to, because there's been so many times where I've gone live and I've said what I had to say. And then I've finished and I've been like, oh no, I didn't say, like, how do you get a hold of me or anything like that? I was just intent on giving the information. And that's a freedom for me that I can just do that now. So that's tonight, that is what I wanted to cover. So we've been together for about an hour. I sort of want to tell you a little bit about this because I want you to start getting money, but I think it'd be better next week because I'll give too much information this week. So I want to open it up right now for questions and thoughts, and tell me what kind of value this has been, what else you need to know. And I want you to be planning into, go get that page, go get that media, whatever way you're going to set this up, get it going, get your personal brand going. You're going to get excited about it. You're going to love it. So I want to open it up right now to anybody that's got questions. Statements.
Paula, can you just swipe your page back?
Yep.
Just like last page. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess my question will be about the crumbs. You know, I always debate how, not how much I can give, but how deep I can go on something. And I mean, when you say crumbs, does it mean make a 3-minute video? Because like so number one, I can get carried away, and
Yes.
it's to me, it's important to like, okay, I want to just focus on one tip and just give a tip.
Yes.
But and if I just say this tip to people, it will be helpful. But sometimes you gotta explain people why are you giving this tip to them, and it's like you put in, you know, meat around the bones, basically, not just giving them bones, because to me, I could understand sometimes bones, but some people would say it's not making sense.
Well, here's what I
And-
would do. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do.
And then I will get too deep, you know, and
Yes.
then I could give too much and people
Yes.
overwhelmed. That's kind of,
So go the rule of keeping it to 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes. Now, I would teach you this. I'm going to teach you this on a deeper level when we are in our, you know, when we go through our, you know, our 8 sessions. But there's a, you know, really algorithms are based on, especially if you're like, let's use Facebook, for instance, or Instagram. The algorithm for someone to watch your video is based on the percentage of time they watch it. It's not based on how long your video was and, you know, was it 20 minutes? It doesn't matter to them if it's a 1 minute video or a 20-minute video. It's the percentage of time, okay? So if you're keeping yourself to 1 or 2 minutes, one, you're not going to go too deep and people will be able to process it. 2, it's more likely people are going to listen because they're so distracted right now. And the actual statistics of how long people look at things is about 10 seconds. All right. So the shorter you make things, the better, the more likely they're going to come back later. In fact, you'll see, go follow what I'm doing. Go. I want you guys to start looking at my Paula L. Boland page. If you haven't liked it already, go like it and watch what I'm doing. It's my page that I'm practicing all of these pieces on to show you all. I set it up on purpose to show you what you do and what you can do and how fast it grows. All right. So you'll see that I have in brackets on many of the videos, this is a 2-minute video. This is a 90-second video. Okay. Because when people see that, they're like, hey, I got 90 seconds. Let me see what this chick's got to say. Right. And so it's more likely they're going to even tune to it instead of scrolling past it. And then if they watch a 1-minute video for 10 seconds, that is an algorithm that means they've watched 10% of that video, which Facebook, when they see that, they don't go, oh, that was a, 1-minute video. So what is that? No, all they see is, this woman's getting they're watching 10% of her video. And they say people are interested in this. And so they push your video even more. It goes to a wider audience. So it's playing the game a little bit. So there's a whole bunch of reasons. So people are not listening if you go deep. I hate it. You could do like a little show, or you could do a YouTube. Here's what I did the other day. I gave this little thing. If you go watch it, it's about procrastination. And it talks about my 11-minute rule to overcome procrastination. And what I said is if you want to go deeper into this and understand it more, go to my YouTube channel, Paula B Coaching, and I go deeper into this. But for right now, this is what you do, blam, blam, right? So I gave the information. I told them where they could get more information if they wanted to, but I gave enough where they would know what I was talking about and it could be helpful in a minute, actually 2 minutes. All right. People won't listen anyway if you're going on and on, unless you're on purpose doing a 30-minute show or, a YouTube video or something like that. People are scrolling and, distracted. And so you might as well go with the flow and try to give information in a way they'll learn. And it's also easier for you. You can put these little pieces of information out in 30, well, maybe not 30 minutes. I can't do anything in 30 seconds, but you can put these little pieces of information out very quickly. And then, yeah, so that's what Gail's saying is you could do a 1 to 2 minute minute video every day and lead them to the next one. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could actually make a big video and then split it on chunks
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
then schedule it. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
let me ask you, what page name are you talking about? Because I thought you have only one page, which is Paula B Coaching.
I have Paula B Coaching, and recently I established Paula L Boland. Paula Boland. All right. Paula B Coaching was established by the Paula B Coaching was established by the marketing people, and I was told that I needed to do that because that's my brand is a blah, blah, blah. And the more I've learned about personal branding, I decided on purpose to start the Paula Boland page and use all of these techniques so you all can see what I'm doing and you can see the experiment of how it's growing. All right. So I do go like it, go follow the Paula L.
I need the
Boland.
link to it because I don't know what page you're talking about. I mean, I'm not following what page. Maybe I could text you and you could.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
send me
I'll,
the link.
I'll-
Yeah.
it's just
Good.
basically,
Let's move on. Cool.
so all you got to do is Facebook, Paula
It makes sense.
L.
Yeah, it
Boland.
makes sense because yeah, people do 1 or 2 minutes. They're most likely going to watch it. Then 15, 20 minutes or 1 hour, even like some people do. It's just not feasible, right?
Right. All right. Anybody else? Questions? Statements? How valuable has this been? Are you going to go start your page?
Oh.
Somebody make a commitment. Peter started his page, Gold Star.
Okay, so because I am
Just a
not.
second. I'm gonna see if anybody else has something,
Okay.
Tatiana, if that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
For writing,
Yeah.
do you recommend writing on the page or linking to like a blog separately?
I would write on the page and link it to a blog. So you might want to give like a little summary because again, people are not going to read the whole thing, right? So whatever you can put, when you go to publish it on the page, it's called above the fold. So whatever's showing up in that little box is what people are going to read. And then it, it always has that thing to see more, right? The little thing that says see more, so that you could have all of that, but you want to write the most important pieces, kind of like the summary of the video, the little 1 minute video in that above the fold place so that people see that part. And then you do want to put a link. Thank you for that, Janine. You rock. Janine just put the link. Thank you, Janine. Yeah, Pam's not here tonight. She usually does that stuff. You are in Pam. You're in Pam mode right now. So yeah, put what you're writing above the fold, like the most important pieces, because that's a lot of times what people will read. And then if they're really engaged, they can go deeper. All right. And what you may want to do also, Peter, because those of you that are into the written word a little bit more, if you don't like making the videos and you can find other people's content that's speaking to what you're talking about, publish some of their videos on your feed so that people get the entertainment value of that video as well. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's somebody you follow that does YouTube that makes a little video that speaks to maybe the same thing you're speaking to, you could put that video on there. And you don't need to be worried about that somebody will go over to that side. They're going to still follow you. It just gives them more value. Just 1 minute, Tatiana. I got you. Okay. Anybody else? Ron? Ron knows he's going to see me tomorrow. Manny? Anybody? All right. All right, Tatiana.
Okay. Well, so I have a haven't decided. I haven't decided on an audience yet, and because of that, I have several pages for different audiences and different subjects. So I don't know what to do now because the reason I haven't decided on the audience because I'm still like tasting waters and creating a separate page for something separate, new page. It feels overwhelming to me and I don't know where to start because I don't want to overwhelm people like saying, hi, this is Tatiana Walker, multi-passionate. I'm interested in those 20 things. People will be like, so what do I do?
Well, again, if you have your page only, that's Tatiana Walker, you no longer have to have all these pages for separate ideas. You can, be you on that page. You can be an artist on that page. You can be a coach on that page. You can be, you be you on that one page. So you don't have to any longer try to say, well, people that are artists, I made this page for them or this group for them. You could make a group for them for sure. But, you want to be, you're presenting your personal brand is who you are in totality. So you don't have to figure out who you are yet. All right. You're being out there and being you. So it could be not to be overwhelmed is that this is a relief because it's all you in one place. All right. So, I mean, ultimately, this is your business. So you can decide if you want to do that or not. If you feel like you've invested that much in these pages and you have a big following there and it's going to be horrible to try to switch them over. I have not found that to be true at all. But if you're putting all this effort into running all these pages, that's got to be confusing anyway. Believe me, I've lived it. And getting it, you being you on one page instead of trying to play to different audiences, as we've been told in the past, is the solution. So ultimately, though, again, this is your business and you have to, and yes, you can, okay. So Janine's asking me if, yeah, we are all rock stars, right? What does GTG means? GTG, what does that mean?
Got to go.
Oh, got to go. Oh, okay. Bye, Becky. Thanks for educating me, Matt. I know that now. Okay. Yeah.
So when you say page,
so you can, hold on a
social
second.
media
Janine, you can rename a page depending on where you want to, where you're renaming it. It's fairly easy to rename a page on Instagram, but I have not had luck with Facebook. You can request it, and sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. So it's worth trying. Does that make sense? It just depends on the platform. But
I meant
yes,
more
you
for
can try.
Tatiana, some pages that she wants to hold on to.
Well, if she has 5 pages that are Tatiana Walker pages, that's going to be really hard. So, if you want to hold on.
I have a one Tatiana Walker coaching and one Tatiana's healing arts.
Okay. Well,
It's kind of 2 actually out of, this is kind of double focus. But yeah, it feels it would be easier to simplify it. Now again, when you say page, you mean social media, right? You don't mean
yes.
website.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about the website later. I'm not going to go into that right now because it's a whole nother topic. What I'm trying to get you to do is set up your personal brand. And your web page, actually, web pages are kind of like going on into sort of not really needed anymore. And it's mostly funnels for this thing, funnel for this thing, funnels for this thing. But what I'm talking about is your presence on however you're putting yourself out there, whatever media you're using, whether it's television, blogging, social media, whatever. That's what I'm talking about tonight, in the name that you're using out there, using one name that's your name. so that it always stays with you and you don't have to promote it this way and this way and this way. It's one name. So you can still be a healer and you can still be
Yeah.
a artist. Okay.
And a coach.
And a coach. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
All right.
I guess that is beneficial, and that is something I would say is I didn't expect it, I guess, from this training now, and simplifying whatever you can simplify so you don't do double, triple, quadruple work. That makes sense and it's helpful.
Mhm.
So I would definitely give it a try because
And here's the
tired
thing.
of 20 pages for sure, and 20 different social media accounts too.
Yeah. So you guys can all, I want you to work on this week, and we'll, we'll talk about this. But the interesting thing is once you start putting out these little bits of, information, the little pieces of your bread, if you will, that you're giving out of what people get to know you quicker. It's more fun for you. It's easier, and you start to grow fast. Your following will grow. So that is the outcome of it. And then you start monetizing because you can present something, you can make an offer, and you've got more people looking at it who like you, trust you, and all of that stuff. So it just works out. Next week, we're going to work on what is the down and dirty thing that you need to do right now to build your business. There's 3 things. And these are recommendations that I learned from in my own practice and helping other people build coaching practices and other businesses that were absolutely broke, had no money, and needed to move quickly into making money, which is, I think all of you would like that. And also information that I received from people that are very wealthy that started from scratch, And so I've started implementing these pieces with other people that I coach. It's very successful. So next week, I'm going to teach you that. And then this should get you on your fast track, your personal brand, and then how to make money right now and grow this business right now. All right. All right, everybody. Any final comments?
Can I ask a very quick question?
Of course.
Should it be like if I set up another page under my name, should it be like a business page, like set it up as a business page? Okay.
It is, you are your business. And so a lot of people will tell me, oh, I have my page, like I have Paula Boland, a feed page. The problem with your feed page is the algorithms are different. You're also probably not connecting as much with an audience that's interested in what maybe your business is, right? I mean, my mom and my sister and all that kind of stuff are on there. And you can only have 5,000 followers. And so you want something that you can have 1 million followers, right? And that's a business page.
What do you do if you don't want to use your full name? What would you recommend?
Whatever you want to be known by, like Janine, if you want to keep being Janine EM, or you want to be, whatever you want, kind of settle in and think about it for yourself. It's your business. It's you. Mm-hmm. So, 10 years from now, when you're living in Hawaii and you decide to, run your Airbnb or your, whatever, and you're not a coach anymore, what do you want people to know your brand as? What do you want your name to be, right? So whatever, you think you want it to be.
Okay, thank you.
Could be your middle initial, could be whatever, I don't know. Yeah. Tatiana's saying nickname. I'd probably stick a little bit with my name as much as I could. Although, those rappers, little G and all that stuff, they don't have their, they've branded that. So,
little J would look a little silly when I'm 95. So,
a lot of those rappers don't live long. So unfortunately, it's not the best profession for a long life. All right, everybody. Well, I have really enjoyed being with you all. I'm going to encourage you all to take I don't want to say action, but maybe inspired action. If this is, I don't want you to feel like this is do or die. This is your business, but this is the fast track and you're on a course to try to get your business, not try, to obtain $100,000 this year. So I'm giving you what I got right now to get you going. So I'm going to encourage you, if you feel inspired, to go ahead and do what you're inspired with and feel really good about it.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome. All right. So we will see you next week at 6 o'clock. And I'll send out an email to remind that. Try to keep it to an hour, although I'm not very successful at that. We've been together an hour and a half. But I love this stuff. So, and certainly, you know, as we go a little bit more, I would encourage you to get into the training that I'm going to be doing. But having that one-on-one session, all of you receive that with me. And I'm glad to, this can deepen this a little bit more. And certainly as your income goes up, you know, working one-on-one may be a lot of fun. So, you know, we'll see where that goes. But anyway, love you all very much. And follow my Paula L. Boland and see what I'm doing, because it'll give you ideas.
Got it. Got it. You got it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Paula.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.